Hey guys, welcome to 4th Street to Britain with me, Dave Shaw, and today I am joined by PHLY, John Foley at 2008 Phils. John, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Six wins will do wonders for your mood.
Doesn't it just? Doesn't
It's,
it
yeah, I mean, I hate that my mental health outlook depends so much on this team, but that's just the way it is.
Right, right. There's an extra spring in your step when the Phils are in, right? You wake up in the morning, you're like, life's good.
Life's
Life's
good.
the
Life's
Phils
good.
are winning.
Everything's fine. What could go wrong? So
Exactly.
hopefully they keep it
Um,
rolling here.
We are on the back of six straight wins, back-to-back sweeps. We'll get into that very, very quickly. Just want to fill you in some other things going on quickly first. And first of all, London series is less than 50 days away. What's going on? There is a massive, I'm doing a big filming day on Sunday in London. There's going to be a massive, huge London series guide coming on the YouTube channel. Please get down there and subscribe. It's going to cover everything. Absolutely everything. It's a big guide. It's going to be probably about 15 minutes long. There's going to be timing segments for each segment of the guide that you want to skip forward to or skip back to. I'm going to answer every question possible. There's been a lot coming in, and I just want it to be an ultimate guide for you guys to look on. If it's your first time to London, not sure on a few things, I am going to try and cover everything. I'm going to London at 6 a.m. Sunday morning. I'm not leaving till midnight after the Phil's game, watching it at PHLY. It's going to be a long day, but I'm going to get this guide set up. Also, on the Sunday, if you're in London, get down to PHLY. Hopefully, the Sixers will be playing at 6 o'clock, followed by the Phillies at 9 against the Padres. PHLY Avenue, Waterloo. If you do want to come book in advance because there's limited spaces left, there's going to be a few Knicks fans there, I've heard. Hopefully, we're going to game 4, and hopefully, we'll see you down there for the Sixers and Phillies back-to-back. And lastly, the YouTube channel is blowing up at the moment. Subscriber numbers are really rocketing. I'm trying to do a lot of daily recaps special for the YouTube channel. Shows like this with myself and John and Alex Carr, who's not here today. Vlogs as well. Lots of YouTube shorts, which you guys are enjoying. Trying to do a lot of content. You guys seem to be really enjoying it. The views are great. The numbers are rocketing up. We're just under 500. If we can push over 500, it'd be fantastic. It'd be a small little milestone. So if you have subscribed recently, thank you very much. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and whatever lingo that the YouTubers say. And it'd be much appreciated. But let's get into our
You're crushing it, my friend. You're just crushing it. I love all that's happening and everything coming over to London. It's going to be amazing. The trip to Philly. I know people were so excited to see you over there, and you got a fantastic hat on. So
yes,
just keep doing what you're doing.
We are in the matching hats. Last time I saw you, John, was actually in Philly in Xfinity Live, straight after the free home run Harper game and the Grand Slam, and then the Sixers pulled it round as well. We were all so good. The weather, I'm glad to say, is vastly improved since that series.
Yeah, since that series, that was.
I felt sorry for people meeting me that week because the weather was cold and I was suffering quite badly from jet lag. And it was that Nat series. I was the Friday night, especially. I think I said 2 words to people. I was struggling. I was struggling.
Just out of it.
It was brutal.
Yeah, it's tough, but you know what? As we get into May here, I think we'll finally get true spring on the East Coast in the States here. So,
and hopefully, because for you, John, this is your first time covering the Phils like this, going to every home game pretty much in the media box. How are you finding it? Because for you yourself, this is a massive life change for you as well, right?
It is an incredible life change. It's a childhood dream. It's not something I ever thought could happen. Started building this Twitter account, and the transition from, a pure fan to covering the team. And, it's the small things, like I'll be in the cafeteria and I look to my left and there's T-Mac or like, like I almost knock over Mike Schmidt on Sunday. Like he's carrying like a tray of food. Like it's surreal. Surreal is really the only way to put it. Yeah, I feel like I'm just living the dream.
It's awesome, and your content's fantastic. We don't follow John at 2008 Phils, and of course PHLY as well, giving you great coverage, and I really do enjoy the coverage. They do live shows and all the Philly sports as well. Usually at good UK friendly times as well. If you're at work, you've got a cheeky hour. They usually on around lunchtime, hour time as well, live pretty much every single day. John writes some great stuff. Of course, the Twitter account, as many of us know, is fantastic. You're right about the T-Mac stuff on the Friday game against it was Monday game against the Reds, the one that we thought was never going to happen. I got invited round by the Phillies to walk around the ballpark as usual. It's always a surreal experience, and you're right. You just look in, and we went into the media room, and T-Mac was there with his feet up, thinking that there was going to be no game. John Crack wasn't even there yet because he thought the game. And John Brazier, of course, the man himself, Mr. Phillies, walked me around. And it was just awesome. Just sit there like you try and take it in, and Greg Murphy walks in, and then we're just all talking baseball in general, Phillies. At the time, T-Mac was covering March Madness, talking about that, the trip to London. It was just, I was like, what is going on?
What is going on? Yeah, no, we are both you and I are living some charmed lives right now, and let's just ride it out as long as far as it takes us. Is my opinion.
This is it. Like, I know nothing lasts forever, especially in the social media world. You ride the wave, and
ride that wave.
Just take it, especially when the Phillies are winning as well. It makes it so much easier. Just trying to take it all in. The build up to June is massive as well right now. That's all going on. But let's talk Phillies. Back-to-back sweeps. The records at the moment and the stats are so much fun. I can't believe we're in April. And I know everyone's going, well, some people are going, oh, it's only the Rockies, it's only the White Sox. But you know what? We don't usually sweep these teams. The Rockies are a bogey team for the Phillies half the time. We're perennial slow starters in April, as people keep telling us. The fact that we're getting it done in April, we're 6 games above 500, 1 game back from the Braves. I know it's early days. Don't look at the standings, blah, blah, blah. I do, because it's fun. And I don't like the Braves, and I want to beat the Braves this year, and I want to go toe-to-toe with the Braves. So I'm looking at the standings because I enjoy it while we're 1 game back from the Braves, and hopefully we can keep neck and neck with them as well. But John, this is just encouragement. We played 2 weak opposition, but we put them to bed. The pitching found their groove. The hitters found their timings. They got their swings down. Rojas and Turner are on obliterating the ball right now. It's just the encouraging signs that have come out these 2 series is huge more than anything else.
Really encouraging. I mean, 2 points there. One, on the competition and the level of competition, you can't take any team for granted. I mean, I know they're really struggling, but this is the path to the playoffs. What good teams do is they beat up on the bad teams. You can put together a pretty good full 162 game record just by going sort of toe to toe 500 with contenders and just beating up on these bad teams. That's probably the easiest way to get to the postseason, and they're getting it done. And like you mentioned, Dave, they don't always get it done like that. There have been plenty of years where you feel, these teams come in and you see the matchups and you're like, on paper, the Phillies should destroy these guys. And then, they take 2 or 3, or maybe not even 2 or 3. So to really go after them, and it feels like they're on a mission and every game counts, and to take all 6 of those 6 against those struggling teams is a great thing. And the second thing you mentioned about the Braves, I think they really have what it takes. In previous years, the feeling was sort of do what you can to get a wild card spot. The Braves are like 20 games ahead. Do what you can to get a wild card spot, sneak in, and then take care of them in October when they have to come in and play in the bank. This year, I think it's really different with Strider going down. We're not going to celebrate that, but it's a fact. They lost their ace. The Phillies have a rotation that's 5 deep, possibly even deeper.
Yeah.
That's the kind of rotation, and that's the kind of team that can set you up for long, continued, periods of success here that can really keep you in the race the whole year. And it's just going to be so much fun. I think it's going to be a really fun summer, just going toe to toe with that Braves team, for the division.
And the good thing is that the starters are going 7+. The bullpen's getting nicely rested. And not only the starters going 7+, but the inning counts aren't too bad either. It's not as if they're going 7 and like real high, 110, 120 pitches. They're averaging around late 90s, 100, about where they should be going 7+. So again, the efficiency of the guys as well is fantastic. In the White Sox series, all 3 starters went 7+, only allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and they were both from Aaron, who gave up his customary home run, but then recovered brilliantly as Aaron does. And he on the whole looks a lot better. That outing against Cincy was just, the weather was horrible. That was, I'm not really counting that one. But he on the whole has been a lot better. The team, well, the rotation has the best ERA in the NL. The team have the best pitching ERA in the NL. The Phillies have the best. Rotation has the second best pitching. I have so many stats in front of me. I've got to get these right. The rotation has the second best team ERA in the MLB with 2.25. Wheeler at the moment is on 2.30. Suarez is on 1.73. Turnbull on 1.23. Sanchez 2.53. Nola 3.16. But again, they're going 7+. The strikeout rates are fantastic from all of them right now as well. They've all got stuff. Walker is due back. I don't know. No, you know what? I do know how I feel about this. I don't want it. I'm not being harsh on Taijuan Walker, but Turnbull's, while he's in this form, I know we have to. It's in his contract. Walker has to come back. He's on a lot of money. And he's not really setting the world alight in his rehab starts. He's going to come back into the Padres series. I don't know. I'm nervous about Walker. Coming back. How long do you think the Phils give Walker? How long's that leash? 3-4 games? Because it's pretty brutal to knock out Turnbull right now, but it's going to happen. How long do the Phils give Walker before they think about putting Turnbull possibly back in?
Well, I do want to mention that when asked directly about this, Rob Thompson indicated, the conventional wisdom seems to be, look, Walker's a starter. He's not really a fit as a bullpen guy. He's going to take the spot, and Turnbull moves to the pen. You also have concerns about how many innings can Turnbull give you this season. Yeah. And he's only given like 50 some over the last few seasons. How big of a leap can you make? Was the way Rob Thompson put it. But they're giving it some thought. They're going to do what's best for the team. Hopefully, it's always ugly when the contracts come into it, and you got a guy making $2 million, and you got a guy signed to a long-term deal. The phrase you'll keep hearing is great problem to have. That Walker's coming in, not to just that trying to fit Walker in is a much better situation than we really need Walker back, and it's questionable how good he's going to be when he gets here. So we'll see what they do there. There's a lot of options. I've heard the idea floated of going to a 6-man rotation. It does seem like they want Wheeler. He seems to prefer to stay on a regular rest. So it might be some sort of weird hybrid where you've got Wheeler on regular rest and then Turnbull and Walker take it. There's a lot of things they can do, but if you got the talent collected, I think we can put some trust in Thompson in the front office to figure out and the analytics folks to figure out how to handle this.
Absolutely, because I'm nervous about Turnbull going to the bullpen because he's on fire right now. He's
on fire,
and I'm, coming out the pen, will he be as effective as he has been as a starter? You could always platoon Walker and Turnbull to start off with as well. I don't know but like you said, it's what a luxury of sort to have. We're talking about our best starter because his rotation has been unbelievable right now. And yes, it's going to get tested. I think this road trip coming up is going to be a test. 4 against Cincy, Padres and Angels on the road. Good 500 teams. I think the Reds have started really well. We've seen them already. They love to run the bases. They're going to be aggressive. We know that. The Angels are in a poor division. They've slumped a little bit. The Padres are 500. I'd like to think we can win those series, but it's a test coming up. I'm just nervous. I hope it works out. It'd be great to have Walker coming back and giving us some 5-6 innings of 2-3 run baseball. That I'd take that. I'll take that now.
I mean, I think people's opinions on Walker have maybe swung a little bit too far. Like, this isn't some bum. Right?
Right,
Like
right.
he was the quickest of 10 wins last year, and I know wins involves a lot of luck, but this is a quality starting pitcher that we're trying to fit in the mix here. Now, exactly how it works out, I don't know. I do know that you never see a team make it through the season using just 5 starting pitchers.
True.
You're gonna, these things sometimes have a way of working themselves out. Hopefully not because of injury, but even just because of double headers, spot starts here and there. You're going to need more guys. So the fact that there's some depth there is just a beautiful thing. I think you're right, Dave. It's going to be an interesting challenge coming up. You've beat up on these teams. You came out of the gates a little slow. You had to play Atlanta right away. You beat up on some of the dredges of Major League Baseball. You go play a pretty solid team in the Reds, and then I think when they're really going to get tested is when they go out to the West Coast, because historically it's just really running into some trouble there. I don't know whether it's the
Yeah.
the jet lag that hit you, or what it is, but just these West Coast trips always seem to kill them. So
It really does.
we'll
And
see
to
how
be
they
fair,
do out there.
when the West Coast teams come here, it actually the Dodgers are never the same Dodgers when they come to the East Coast. The Giants are never the same. The Padres are never the same. So it must be a thing both ways. And if the Phillies can figure that out on this road trip, that would be great.
Yeah,
And hopefully for Walker, quickly one last thing, the competition for places in that team may even spur him on. He knows he's got to play well to stay in that team. He knows he has to pitch well because
hmm
Merrifield, rightfully so, has earned a spot in that rotation along with Sanchez, Suarez, Nola, Wheeler have been fantastic as well. So the competition for places may just be a benefit for Walker and may just drive him on, give him that little extra bit of fire in his belly, in his competitive juices to get him going. So fingers crossed it does work out. I'm just nervous. I think everybody is naturally nervous, but like
yeah.
you said, he's not a bum. He's not a
It's
bum.
not a it's not a bum. This is a guy who's had a lot of success in this league, and
Right.
he got off to a slow start in spring training. I think he was on some personal leave for a while, and then had a little bit of a health issue, so he didn't really he's in his spring training right now.
And
So
who do you think I'm presuming Pinto is going to get DFA. That's the only option I can see the Phil's doing.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Yeah, that game too.
Yeah,
That inning was just how
that
they
inning was
ever had a
brutal.
tying run at the plate.
Yeah, it was bad, and
Even 9-0 up, they still put you through it.
yeah, I mean, exactly. It can never be easy, right? But Thompson talked about Pinto after the game, and it's a little, it's tough because he said he's rusty. He hadn't been out there. None of these bullpen guys have been out there. One thing Thompson mentioned that is really sort of amazing, that this is the problem we're dealing with. But one thing he mentioned is that the starters have been pitching so well and going so deep into these games and pretty efficiently, or maybe sticking around because they're going after no hitters, which happened a couple days in a row,
Yeah.
that the bullpen guys aren't getting the work that they normally do. They're going out there just too well
As
rested,
in
if you
when?
can
Yeah.
believe it. It's wild. It's wild to hear that. Just we got to get the bullpen guys some work because the starters have been so dominant.
Yeah.
But that's where they are. But whether whether it was rust or whether it was Pinto, was probably not long for this major league roster under any circumstances. Given the other arms in that bullpen, he's just
Yeah.
who somebody's got to go.
Yeah, exactly. And let's get to the offense. The bats have warmed up, some way more than others. Trey Turner, his stats the turnaround for Trey has been, and Rojas, I'm going to throw him in there as well, have been phenomenal. Really have. Trey Turner's
Mhm.
back 500 over his last 7 games. Rojas over 400, both now multi-hit gaming. Rojas, I tell you what, credit to Johan Rojas, because he's made some adjustments and some quite big adjustments to his swing, even from the start of the season against Atlanta to now. His swing's shorter. He seems to have this, as John Crucky mentioned commentary a while ago, there's this new foot tap where he's not lifting his leg as much. He's now literally just a tap of the foot to get his stride going. And mentally as well for Johan, credit, because people were on this guy. And there's pressure on him. And he must have felt it at times. He would have heard it in the crowd. I heard it when I was against the Reds and when I was out in Washington. People were getting on him. And the majority, by the way, were like me, clapping him. Come on, Johan, this is your one. He would have heard the negatives, and rightly so. Philly's a tough place to play. We all know that. That's what makes you stronger. And Rojas, for me, it's a good story right now. His defense is something else, but I'm so happy for him, and he's enjoying himself. You saw him last night with Marsh, the 2 outs, the cap, the joking around. That just looks to me as a guy who now he's back. He's enjoying baseball, and the turnaround is, for me, in this short period of time, it's just great. Already, it's a good story.
It's an incredible story. He's such an easy guy to root for. And one thing you'll hear from anyone who's spending time around the team is that he just is a worker. He's just constantly putting in the work all through the offseason, all through spring training. He put his trust in Kevin Long and the other coaches in terms of working with his swing. They were sort of overhauling his swing, and they wanted him to, to borrow a Sixers term, trust the process.
Yep.
And, they told him, they said, don't worry about the results. Just keep doing what you're doing. Work on what we told you as far as mechanics go, and the results will get there. And he took that to heart, and he had some brutal numbers in spring training. He was like, it was like 1 for 45 with like 1 walk. It was awful. And I was like, personally, I thought this guy cannot be in the major leagues right now. As amazing as his glove is, like, he really needs to work on his at bats down in AAA. But the coaches believed in him. He believed in himself. He put in the work, and they kept saying it's close to clicking for him, and people weren't buying it, but now here it is clicking, and he doesn't have to continue to set the world on fire with his bat. If he's just a serviceable number 9 hitter, and the value he brings to you in center field, that's a player. That's a player, and he's one of the best stories on this team so far.
It really is. And when I was watching him against the Reds and Nats, he had some good at bats. He was going deep into counts as well, so you could just tell that he was nearly there, and you could tell the breakout was coming. But he's stealing it like every time he gets on base. He's got so many runs in this series, and people getting him home because of course, when he gets on, he's stealing bases. He's making things happen. He puts pressure on the opposing defense straight away. He's an exciting player. And like you said, easy to root for. I love it, and long may it continue. And for me, if he can get an average above 250, I'm happy with that. That's a bonus. Him getting
I think 250 would be amazing. I mean, we were talking at one point, about, can he get to 200? And then he started the season struggling. It's like, man, can he get to 150? Like, what are we going to do here? But he looks like a guy, man. He looks like a guy for sure. And it's fun to see. It's so fun to see the younger guys develop. And it looks like he's having a blast out there, and so much fun.
Trey's locked in. Kyle's having a great start. It's not even May. He's on 6 home runs, lead the Phillies with home runs. Yes, his walk rate is through the roof compared to his previous years. Sack fly. He was perfect yesterday. The sack fly not an official out yesterday for Kyle Schwarber. And his confidence, his approach has been fantastic. I have been, if it wasn't for Turner, Marsh, Bohm, and Rojas really going off right now, Kyle's gone slightly under the radar. And yes, his average is over 200, which for me, that's massive. Because he's a slugger. He's usually a strikeout or a home run guy. Now he's walking, he's stealing bases. 6 home runs already. Kyle Schwarber, for me, has been so far one of the early players of the season.
Yeah, he's really doing well. Historically a little slow to warm up. I think the numbers would show, but the season, not the case at all. It looks like it's June Schwarber already out there. He's moving around so well. He really slimmed down over the offseason. Yeah. He's moving around. He's not, he's still a big guy. He's still a power guy. He didn't lose any of that power when he slimmed down, which is one of my fears. And now he's moving around good enough. Like you said, he's not Trey Turner or Johan Rojas out there, but he doesn't really feel like a base clogger either. Like he can move a little bit. He can go first to third.
You can see the fear in the eyes when he's running, stealing a base in the second baseman and the shortstops, can't you? They don't want to get anywhere near him.
They want no part of that. They know.
Two of the players, they've had great starts. Brandon Marsh and Alec Bohm. These two, the 2 daycare kids, they're just lighting it up right now. And Alec Bohm has had a great series. His average is about 260 now. Where is he? He's 284. 284. Brandon Marsh is 288. Alec Bohm now has 18 RBIs, by far and away the team leader in RBIs, ahead of Harper on 14. His confidence, 2 home runs, 2 3-run home runs in game 1 against the White Sox. we want to see a bit more power from Alec because we know he's got it. But at the same
Mhm.
time, he is just clutch. And his
Yeah.
average is up. He's getting on base. He's stealing bases as well. He and Marsh, John, just, again, great stories. Easy guys to root for. The fun factor of the Phillies right now.
Yeah, completely easy guys to root for. Bohm. We talked about Rojas being a worker. How about the work Bohm has put in just a couple of
Absolutely.
years ago from the I hate this place game, and you held your breath every time the ball went near him.
Yep.
His improvement defensively has just been a delight to watch. And now it seems like maybe the last thing to come along is maybe this power. And if I think he got to 20 last year, and if he improves on that, you've got a pretty serious player there. And Marsh, I can't say enough about Marsh as a player, as a human being, and the things he does in the community in Philadelphia. I'm supposed to be a very unbiased professional journalist now, so I can't get too much into this, but probably my favorite player on the team. Just an incredible guy.
That's the thing with this generation of Phil's players is that there's so many fan favorites. Like, I love them all. Like, they're all characters. The chemistry is just unmatched. I really think it's unmatched. When I was in that DC game, when I had those amazing seats right next to the dugout, I spent as much time looking at the guys in the dugout than the game. And it was a cold day. So, they were giving me entertainment. But Ranger Suarez was just always joking around. It has that cheeky look like he's up to no good. But the way they all bounce off each other as well is just, it's infectious. It's just, it gives you a smile. That's our guys. That's our guys right there. And
Those are guys.
enjoy themselves.
They're good guys. They enjoy each other. There was a quote, I forget which one of them was saying it, but there was a quote from one of them that says, there's no cliques on this team. It's not like this group of guys goes out to dinner and this group of guys goes. They're a team in the truest sense of the word. They support each other. Like you say, you saw Rojas and Marsh joking around after Marsh tossed the ball in the stands.
Yeah.
Marsh is always the first guy out there to congratulate, the outfielders that he's splitting time with and a little bit of competition with, honestly. But if Pache, Rojas, when Merrifield are hitting, he's the first one there to give him the high five on the way back in. So these guys, they're rooting for each other. They got a shared common goal, and it just clicks for whatever reason.
And even Stubbsy was always like, every time they came up, anyone came down those stairs back in the dugout, high five, first one, high fives, giving it the old chest shake.
Just a little shimmy.
Infectious. And even Pache, he's getting involved. Even and Souza, even the players that aren't playing regularly, and Whit Merrifield, they were all in there, all getting as part of the chemistry. I just love it. I just love the vibe. Again, we're talking vibes. It's all about the vibes of the Phillies, but they're there. It's real. It's genuine. I'm not going to touch too much on Stott and Casti because they're going to turn it around. Casti, I'm going to give this road trip and see where he is after this road trip. I think he is showing signs of coming out of the slump. Stott, we know what Stott, he'll come out of it. He's had these slumps before. He'll bounce back. As they say in baseball, you're as good as the back of your top's playing card, and the stats are there. I'm not too worried. And you know what? It's a long season. What player goes from game 1 to 162 lights out? Every player is streaky. Every player goes for it. It's just Casti and Stott's turn. I'm sure when they get hot, we're sure Bohm and Marsh will slightly regress throughout the season. It's the ups and downs of baseball. I'm not too worried about Stott or Casti right now. Big road trip ahead, as we touched on. Starting with 4 in Cincinnati, then the Padres, and then the Angels. So this is now, time to see where we really are. Time to see, and I would love it if we can get series wins in all those, especially Cincinnati. That'd be huge. It's asking quite a lot because this is a tough road down, but we've got Suarez versus Green, we've got Sanchez versus Abbott, Turnbull versus Lodolo, Wheeler versus Ashcroft at a UK friendly 6:30 time on Thursday. Realistically, John, I'll be happy with a split. If you offer me a split, I'll take it now. 4 games, win us 3 out of 4 against anybody, especially on the road, is tough going, especially in Cincy, who are a good young team. They're very aggressive. They run the bases well. They're doing well. They're having a good year. They've had a good start. We've seen them already. They beat us at Citizens Bank Park. John, what would you like to see from the Phils? What do you predict for this one?
Those are all completely reasonable points, very rational. makes a ton of sense. I still want to see at least 3 out of 4.
Right.
I'm greedy. When you're rolling, keep it rolling. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're coming fresh off these 2 sweeps. Cincinnati, like you said, they're a good young team, but they're nobody to be scared of. Let's go. Let's get 3 out of 4 there, and
Lovely.
then you've got a real test out west against the Padres. But things are sort of, the schedule is playing out nicely in terms of, Atlanta series aside, just sort of ramping up to like the next level of a challenge. And if they can keep it, if they can keep it going through this road trip, now you're into May, and you'd be looking at a really solid record. And again, you're probably right there with the Braves, if not ahead of them. So
yeah, the one frustrating thing was, like, we got on this amazing run, and the Mets and the Braves just kept going with us. It happened last year as well, when you went on all those streaks. The Mets and the Braves just kept doing it as well. But they did drop a game last night to the Rangers. Finally. So yeah, it's fun. Like you said earlier on, this is fun.
This is fun.
In April, we're still in it, because usually in April we're miles out of it already. And the Braves this week are against, who are the Braves? Oh, Marlins. Oh, wow.
Look, this is the thing. If you're going to be, a big boy team now, and you're not looking to just squeak into the playoffs, and then we've got our guys, and we'll get them then. If you're looking to win a division and be one of the premier teams in Major League Baseball, this is what it's like. Nobody's going to do you any favors. The Braves aren't going to roll over. The Mets seem to have, I don't know if I really have much belief that the Mets will keep it going, but for now, at least, they're hanging around. So,
yeah.
But if you want to keep pace with the Braves, you're not going to do it by winning 88 games. You're going to be in the 90s, probably the high 90s.
I think the high 90s, this division. But yeah, we're on a good path. We're on a good path right now. Lastly, congratulations to the Harpers, who are expecting imminently. So Harper is on the paternity list, and Cody Clemens is up and starts tonight, as the team has literally just dropped. And it is basically Clemens for Harper batting 8th. That's pretty much the only change. Brandon Marsh is batting 4th in the cleanup spot.
Cleanup, okay. That's this is Marsh is that's a little bit of microcosm of the team, right? Where it's like, okay, you've been great at what you've been doing, but now we're trying to take it to the next level. And for Brandon Marsh, the next level is being a star. Hitting better against lefties and really becoming a true star in this league. That's the next place for him to go. Just like the next place for the team to go as a whole is to get out of this, wild card race sort of situation and be fighting for the top of the division. So you gotta love it. You gotta love where they're going here. And yeah, congratulations to the Harper family. This team having a lot of kids, man. Just one after the other. So, congrats to all of them.
Brilliant. John, as ever, mate, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on social media, buddy?
Mainly you'll find me on Twitter every day at 2008 Phils with a Z, PHILZ. And then also you can find my written work on allphly.com. Along with me, you had just some of the best Eagles, Sixers, and Flyer writers in Philadelphia. Just an incredible group of folks that I'm really honored to be able to work with. If you're just a Phillies fan, come read the Phillies stuff. We've got Jim Salisbury putting content on the website now. It's just an absolute legend when it comes to Phillies writing. And if you're a fan of all the teams, especially the Sixers are in the playoffs right now, you've got Derek Bodner, Kyle Neubeck. Just an incredible collection of folks, and I highly recommend checking out the website allphly.com.
Amazing. John, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, hit that subscribe button if you like what you're watching for more content to come. And hopefully next time I talk to you, we're on the back of, I don't know, what, Phillies? What, 8 above 500? 9? Top of the division?
Man, who knows? Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
It's a pleasure. I've been Dave Shaw. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.